Hi!
Hey,
Hello! Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you, whoever is here. Sorry for the delay again, but we made it. It's also on my channel today. Jessa unfortunately can't join us today, but we'll see her again next month. So, hearts to her. Good luck with her travels. And yeah, so this month we are reading Escaping First Contact by T.S. Beier. Hopefully, that's how you pronounce the name. But yeah, it is a self-pub book by one of our members, Tina, and I'm really excited to talk about it this month. But before we do that, we can do intros. I'm Melody. This is my channel. And yeah, Max.
hey, I'm Max from Max Reads. Single book reviews, follow me on there. Sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. Stuff.
Hello. Hi. My name's Steph from Coffee Over Apples. You might know me already. I read lots of things, but trying to focus this year on horror and sci-fi. And lots of anime stuff. You get.
Anime. And we have somebody here only on chapter 19. Hello, but it's okay.
Thanks for
We'll tell
coming.
you when the spoilers come.
Yes.
You have a ship in it. Me too. Yo, you should stay right until after the spoilers and tell us your ship. And
Oh, we
Okay.
should probably mention that this was the last book for last year.
Yes.
it
This is
is.
this isn't January's one. We've got another show coming this January.
Yes. Should we share what we're reading for January for anyone who's not sticking around for spoilers?
Yes. Okay. Do you have the actual book stuff?
I do.
Whoa!
So
We have always been here by Lena Nguyen.
It
Yay!
looks
Awesome.
really good. It has a very short, synopsis. If you want me to read it, on the
Yeah, go
inside.
for it.
It says misanthropic psychologist Dr. Grace Park is placed on the don't know how to say that Dwaycalion, a survey ship headed to an icy planet in an unexplored galaxy. Her purpose is to observe the 13 human crew members aboard the ship, all specialists in their own fields, as they assess the colonization potential of the planet Eos. But frictions develop as Park befriends the androids of the ship, preferring their company over the baffling complexity of humans, while the rest of the crew treats them with suspicion and even outright hostility. Shortly after landing, the crew finds themselves trapped in the ship by a radiation storm with no means of communication or escape until it passes, and that's when things begin to fall apart. Park's patients are falling prey to waking nightmares of helpless, tongueless insanity. The androids are behaving strangely. Paranoia is closing in, and soon Park is forced to confront the fact that nothing, neither her crew nor their mission, nor the mysterious Eos itself, is as it seems. Ooh, a
Mm.
trapped room sci-fi.
Sounds like it might be pretty
Enjoy.
creepy.
Yes.
I'm ready for scary sci-fi. I'm so
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
ready too. I was like, I wasn't prepared for this one to be a little like horror-y.
Yes. Speaking of trapped room sci-fi.
Yay, hello.
Okay, let's try to go as in depth with non spoilers as we can since we have a bunch of people here for that. So
Yes.
we can do
That's always so difficult for us.
It's really difficult.
really hard.
But
Can we
okay.
start with ratings or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I gave it 4 stars.
Valid. I'm also
There
giving
was
it four.
one thing that brought it down from a 5 for me. I'll talk about that
Mm.
after the spoilers line.
Can
Yeah,
I
I was
guess?
between. Oh, Ghosta?
Oh no, I was just gonna guess. Is the reason towards the end?
Oh, the
Yeah,
chapter you
it's
Yeah,
more
mentioned.
towards the end. Yeah.
I get you. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead, Mel.
I was between a 4 and 4.5. I still haven't decided, so let's say 4.25.
That's fair. Okay, so I can probably start somewhere, which is I didn't expect this to be as funny as it was.
Yeah, me too.
No, me neither.
Like I don't know what my expectations were. I think because of like the ominousness of the cover and of the synopsis, I was kind of preparing myself for something really dark.
Yeah.
And there were dark moments, but it was like 75% comedy to me.
Yeah, once they got onto like the ship, I was like, oh, it's gonna be all doom and gloom from now on. But it was so funny. And it was like, what is happening?
um,
Did anyone check if there was like character art and stuff? Book art for this?
I don't think that is yet.
Oh
I don't think
But I
no.
so,
feel
but
like this is the kind of book that's going to spawn so many like
yes,
smutty
Yeah.
fanfics.
yes.
Oh, that
Oh my
too.
Absolutely.
god.
I would love to draw some of those fanfics because character descriptions were great.
They were really
They
good, yeah.
were. They were so good.
I like when people don't shy away from giving like a full body description. Like, tell
Mhm.
me what everything looks like. I want to know.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And
It was so imaginative.
it was so
Sorry.
imaginative. I
Yeah, it was
agree.
very original. Like, character design was very original.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the setting itself, I think it makes it when you understand why most of the descriptions were on character and not on environment.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
Did it? It's so good.
But I guess, like, if you were thrown into that situation, what you would be doing is, like, using the opportunity of everybody suddenly being able to communicate to, like, get a good look at people, I guess.
Mhm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
So it feels kind of natural.
Yes. You-
Something
Yes.
good. Yes, it was. Yeah. I thought
And
it would be a little more plot driven, but I feel like it was a good like balance with a lot of character too. And I was like, I'm
That's
living for
true.
this.
And we have to remember as well that this is book one.
right.
Right?
So this is like a bit of a story. It's not like a full like thing. This is one event in the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was thinking about that too because I think about like over a little over 100 pages in, I made a note about just wanting the plot to start developing at a certain
Yeah, me
point,
too.
and then it did develop. But I was thinking if this was like a 500 page, if we had all three books at once, it would be too much. So I think it was a
Yeah.
really good idea.
Yeah.
One thing
I
I kind of wonder about is that in this one there's so much in the way of like this is how this society is, this is how this society is, this is how this society is. And it doesn't feel like info dumping because it's like people asking
Mm-hmm.
questions out of curiosity. But like in book two, once that's all out of the way, will it be more like story oriented?
Right.
Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because we don't have to give everybody's background because we already did that.
Right.
It's
And
true.
also I think background I don't think this is spoilery. Wait, is it spoilery? No, I retract that. Okay, no, I can't.
Okay.
Or
But
rather, I could say it this way that I think the circumstances in which our characters were so curious, given that there is a very long history here, I have questions as to like why hasn't anyone asked these logical questions, or is this information that you kind of need to know at a certain point?
mm,
But I'll elaborate more in the non-spoiler section. But I was like, oh, this is very interesting, but also hasn't someone been researching? Everyone's a scientist here. Has no one researched this? Like, it's okay.
That's true, I guess. But like, if you think about on a galactic scale, like
Hmm.
probably the only people that would need to know about every single culture are like traders, people moving between different planets all the time, and like very specific bits of the military. But I guess people that like just live on one planet their whole life are really going to need the background about everybody else. So maybe it's like we
mhm.
didn't learn it because we didn't need to learn it kind of thing.
Mm.
I feel like there has to be some like secret government agency that did research on all the other
That
species.
that's where I'm thinking, or we'll talk about it more in the spoiler area. But there's like certain people you should know things. But that's okay. That's
But
really good. I can see why I saw Tina posted on Twitter that another author compared it to Oh my gosh, our favorite book. What's it called? Long Way to a Small Angry Planet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's got a similar like big multicultural crew vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. If you enjoyed that for the interactions, the interspecies interactions, and semi wholesomeness, I call it semi because there was a lot of aggression.
Oh yeah.
But
I think one thing it shares like is a big similarity with Becky Chambers is like people asking each other questions and one side not being offended by any questions and one
Mhm.
side not being embarrassed, and it's just like a genuine like, you are curious, I will teach you kind of
Yes,
thing. I feel like that's a
Yeah.
really similar thing.
love it.
We love the interspecies aliens and
Yes,
hmm. So I feel like the government must know they're related or something. I was like, no, we're not. What are you talking about, you crazy woman?
Were there any characters in the book that you didn't like, and who were people's favorites?
I think my favorite would be Hind, the
Oh,
dirge.
the big furry guy.
Yeah, the big
Yeah,
furry guy.
I mean, Kosa kind of got on my nerves a little bit.
same. Yeah.
Hmm.
Just wants to like someone to like punch her in the face and tell her to sit
For me,
down.
it was like, yeah, the whole time I was like, just you can stop being angry now. It's
Yes,
fine.
just like calm down. Favorite characters? Maybe Clenny,
Okay.
the wife, or maybe what? Which one was the rip that kept asking all these questions and was like
Oh,
genuinely curious?
stairs.
Yes.
Yeah,
He was
stairs was
like,
cool.
he reminded me of a little kid whenever he like cracked a joke. I was
Knee
like,
slapper.
he was so funny.
Like the old crotchety doctor.
Honestly, same for me. I feel like I was about Fluger.
Yeah,
I think he was also supposed to be annoying.
yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
think
so.
he was
Yeah,
meant to be annoying, but
Yeah. I don't know that Kosa was meant to be annoying, or maybe she was.
Costa was just angry, but Flugger is like just a straight up racist.
yeah, he's just.
Word.
One thing I really go on. No, go on.
Oh no,
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say one thing I really liked was the author's notes at the start about stuff that they'd chosen to do in the book. And
Oh
one of
yeah,
the
yeah.
things is like some of the names have apostrophes in, and it was like, these apostrophes are for alien noises that your human mouth can't make, so don't even try.
I love it so much. Oh, we're talking about characters. I ship them.
Me too.
It's a good ship.
Me too.
I do. I ship everyone.
Yeah, that human lizard romance is another Becky Chambers similarity.
Yes. Love it. Love it.
We stand big lizards.
Oh my god.
That was so fun. Owlin. Also, I call out.
Yeah, I just think of owl. It's just
Yeah.
owl in my head.
For me,
Even
it's a
though they
double
don't
L.
like the double. How do you do the double L?
Double L's Welsh. It sounds like sh. For
Oh.
me, it was like Alchien.
Oh, I'm thinking in Spanish.
Interesting.
No idea.
Yeah, I
I
can't make that sound, I think.
don't even know if that would. Alliant? It would make the Y sound. Alent. I don't know.
Oh, like a Spanish double L.
Yeah, Alliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know what that would mean, but sure.
Well, we'll have to wait for the movie adaptation to find out, right?
No, but seriously, I'm definitely down to make some fan art for this. I love the descriptions. They were so,
That
and
was
the
so cool.
explanation,
So
everything
good.
was so thoughtfully explained.
Mm-hmm.
It
Like,
was.
If there was anyone here that would probably learn the alien language first, it'd be Max.
It was
I'd
Max,
be well
yeah.
up for that. Yeah, definitely.
Your translator. That was so good.
It was. I
Um,
also really liked it was mentioned in the Discord, but the multiple point of views. Loved
Yeah,
it.
that was really good.
I
I
definitely
don't think anyone was left out either.
yeah.
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 No side characters. Everyone's important.
Yes. So I'll save this note for
Spoilers.
yeah. For spoilers. But I drew a lot of hearts in this. And I drew a lot of LOLs, like, well, you can't even see it. LOL smiley face, like it's really funny.
I think, yeah, I only had 2 pages and both of them had to do with stairs.
I'm trying to see if I have any non-spoilery notes I can talk about.
Did anyone
right here? This is an interesting thought. When does one humanize or appreciate the enemy? I think it was a section where in the beginning where like Koso was talking about being in the military and in general like what it means. I as someone who's never been or is not a veteran or never been in the military or a combatant person, like what it means to reconcile with the idea of fighting an enemy and not knowing your enemy and humanizing them at a certain point, or where does that fall within that process of accepting your role in like a large scale warfare, something like that.
I think in most historical large scale warfare, there has always, with the exception of like civil wars and stuff, there has always been language barrier, and I feel like that's something that probably helps you to dehumanize the people you're fighting. And as soon as that language barrier is removed, that probably means you start having to actually be like, oh shit, this is a real person.
Yeah. I feel like the removal of the language barrier in the book was really important. Like I feel like I wouldn't have enjoyed the book as much if that wasn't removed.
Did we get a concrete answer as to why that happened?
No.
I don't think so, but then again, I haven't read the epilogue and like the very last chapter, so I don't know. I'm literally like, I have what?
You're so close, Steph.
Yes.
You're so close.
I don't know, but I got the answer as to what the ship is, so I'm like,
okay, you're basically there.
Basically
almost.
My favorite joke was, "My best cousin is a lawyer. I'm sorry. Good to see some jokes as an attorney." This book felt very witty.
It was.
I'm impressed.
It wasn't annoying. I thought it would get old.
Yes.
Where it says like cross culture stuff, probably my favorite bit in the whole book was the fact that like bums are universal. Like everybody loves bums. There is no exception.
Oh my god.
So good. See, this I'm really impressed with how the author was able to keep me interested with the level of witty banter throughout the entire book, because for example, Jay Kristoff is an author that even though I enjoy their books, that what they wrote with what's her name, Amy something Kaufman, A.V. Kaufman, they're conjoined books, but they're single books I don't like because the wittiness reads as sarcasm, and so it's full of sarcasm that can get really tiresome for me. But here it felt a balance of sarcasm with wittiness with genuine innocent curiosity, and that just balanced it out so much. So I was like, oh, this is so pure.
I think it probably, as an author, takes a lot more intelligence to write funny that isn't sarcastic. I feel like it's much more difficult. Like it's really easy to be sarcastic, but it's very hard to be funny without that.
Anyone could be a jerk. But
Right,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like this character is funny because he's edgy and he's mean to people. It's like, yeah.
we got
But
dead
so it always
for that.
impresses me when people don't do that.
Really good job. I'm impressed.
I was trying to see when the second book came out, but I saw that Tina had a different book published already.
Oh,
That
the second
isn't
one's like in 2 weeks.
Oh,
in 2
really?
weeks? Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
it's
on
really
Discord it was soon.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay, I'm totally ordering one.
Yeah,
This
me
is
too. I'm
great.
gonna get one too.
Same.
Totally gonna continue this.
Might be my first favorite author. We'll see.
Ooh.
Yay! Was this the last book of 2021 or the first book of 2022 for you guys?
Oh, this was the second to last book of 2021.
I had 3 rollovers into 2022, so I still haven't started a new book this year yet.
Me neither. This was last and first. It's okay. Any other non-spoilery things?
Yeah. Good way to end/start the year with. What else?
I think
I
all the
want
other
all
things I
the
want
art.
to say are spoilery things.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too. I think so too. I wasn't okay. It's not an erotica, but it felt like an erotica.
It's nearly there.
It's almost
It's nearly there.
Ah.
Does this fall into the category? I don't know. Where is
I
the
feel
where
like sci-fi erotica is quite a small and niche genre.
it is. I can't say that I've read too many of those at all, but this was great.
This
I
was
was
like
not
on the
expecting it.
borderline.
It was on the border. Would you categorize this as a romance?
No, but I feel like the sequel might be.
Maybe romantic?
Yeah.
Might have more. Yeah.
I feel like I'm like super here for it though.
Yeah, I'm totally into it.
It's like I wasn't expecting it at all. Like get like 50 pages in, I'm like, wow, this is pretty dirty.
I love it.
I think that might be something that puts some people off.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what the reason I think it might put people off is because from the description I didn't see that coming at all.
Me neither. No way.
So
Me
had I
neither.
known that, I would have been in a different mind state. So I can see, even though like you said it's a very niche thing, I can see people gravitating towards that because it's very different from
Yeah.
what's very popular in the mainstream market. So if it was advertised a bit more on here, I think people might be interested enough to give it a try. But then does that put it out as an outlier for describing
That's
it?
true. Yeah.
That's true.
You don't want to use that tiny thing to market the book because that is
Yeah.
not the best thing about it. There are
Right.
a lot of other really good things about it.
Yeah.
I feel like one other non-spoiler thing I feel like I want to say is being someone that reads loads of really old sci-fi. This really feels like old sci-fi. Like you can tell that the person that wrote this reads sci-fi written in the 60s and 70s. But like in a really cool, really good way.
Well, we know their channel personally, so we're
Yeah.
very spot on.
You can like smell that coming off it though. 100%.
Oh,
Okay.
that was really becoming a thing.
Yes.
Yes, all we
I'm
need is
loving
a hot
it.
AI, and we got the whole shebang.
Wait till aliens
Allie.
actually come to Earth and they're like,
You ever see that movie? What's it called? With the cone heads?
oh yeah.
They look like that. They're so awesome.
I think I watch that in a history class.
Oh, do we plan on doing book 2 in the club, or
Yeah.
I think just individually, because we already set our books for the next quarter, but I'm definitely gonna get myself a copy.
Yeah, we can definitely put like add a channel or something
Yeah.
if people want to talk about it.
Mhm.
Let us know.
I think we totally should add a channel. It'd be great.
Yeah. I always say that I'll read the next book and then I never do.
I
But
Still
this
have to read
one,
Expanse.
Right?
yes.
I have
God.
book 2 of Expanse staring at me since I bought it a few months ago. Like,
Okay, it's okay. This year is a low Sanderson year, so we'll be able
yes,
to read a lot more.
ready. We'll talk about. I just bought the books for our other read along, and they're all thin, and I was like, yes.
God.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, we will as soon
Okay.
as we're done with the chat. Cool.
So
Right.
spoilers.
Are we
Going
spoilers?
into
Yeah, I think
spoilers.
spoilers. So if you don't want to get
Okay.
spoiled, get out of here.
Wait, I want to know, did we learn the ship yet? We did.
We did. It was
We did
Kosa
learn
and
the ship.
Crank.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
coming. It was so
joining.
fun. We'll talk to you in the chat when you're done.
Yes, let us know your thoughts. If anyone else is still here, you have been warned by starting spoilers. Leave! Okay. Wait, how far are, like, where did you end off stuff?
They just got the explanation from those aliens who rescued them about what the purpose of the ship is.
Mhm.
And then yeah, that's where I'm at. So they're about to
Oh,
escape, I guess, or whatever.
okay.
Potentially escape, I don't know. But the Triku?
Mhm.
I don't know how to say that. The new alien popped in.
Mhm.
It was like, here's information. So it's okay
Did
if you
you
guys want to say
want
anything. You can spoil it. It's
Okay.
fine. I'm
Okay.
literally gonna
what?
finish it right after the
Okay.
live, so it's like 20
That
pages.
that one info dump is what stopped this book being a 5-star for me.
Mm.
It was like,
Mm.
we're trying to figure out what this ship does. And then this one alien, like, well, I'll tell you.
Okay, here's my prediction that I wanted. And so I was also a little bit put off when that info dump happened. I was like, what if the aliens were communicating with them for the only way that they know how? As in, like, they were observing all of these civilizations for so long that they interpreted their wars as a communication method, and so by fighting them they were trying to communicate with them, but then also taking bits and pieces of their culture, like when they had the whole lounge with the food. It's like, okay, is this another attempt at like showing that we're trying to communicate by using your
Ah.
cultural language? Does that make sense?
They
Maybe.
seem so smart though.
Yeah, they do seem really smart.
Yeah, but then I don't know. So I don't know where it's gonna go in book 2. But that last little info dump of like, this was an experiment. I was like, oh man. That's okay.
I'm interested because, like, finishing book 1, we still don't know why it's called the Burned Ship Trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
I'm interested to find out why.
It gave me that horror movie, The Cube.
Oh yeah, a little bit with
It felt
the
like,
shifting, changing rooms and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
except shifting
Mm.
hallways instead of rooms. But
it reminded me of that horror movie. Have you ever seen called Virus?
no.
So it's these people that they're boat salvages in the Pacific, and they like go to this completely empty like ghost ship, and there's this thing on the ship that's like a virus that's changing the ship on the inside and taking the crew
Oh.
apart and making them robots and stuff like that. But it had like big virus vibes for me.
Yes. Have you seen the
Ooh.
show Helix?
Yes.
Yes, it reminded me of Helix.
Yeah, it does feel like Helix. You're right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I
I
was
forgot. I
expecting,
forgot all about that show until just now.
right? It's a long time ago. That's what I was kind of predicting also when we learned about, well, the things that were coming at them that were this like amalgamation,
Hmm.
that they were being, or that they were other explorers or other crews who came out and like were or infected,
Yeah.
and then like
Mm.
amalgamated and then brought back. But I don't know.
Interesting.
How did you guys feel about the whole lounge poison cupcake scene?
Or everybody just got high. Yeah.
That
I
was a
don't know.
laugh.
It's kind of weird, but I really liked it.
I really liked it. It
Me
was so
too.
funny.
It
They're
felt
like,
very random, but it felt very right for this book.
A lot of the way
yes.
through this book, my whole attitude was just like, I'm okay with this.
Mhm.
Like, this is happening. Oh, this is cool. One
They
thing that I
got.
thought was really weird. No, sorry, go on, Mel. Go on.
I was just gonna say they got high to further the codes and crank ship.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. One thing I thought was really weird was the from the way until they met what's the Dirge's name? The furry guy? You just said it at the start.
Hind.
Hind. Before they met Hind, it really felt like they painted a picture of his race as the bad guys. Like right up until we met Hind. And even the fact that they're called the Dirge sounds like really sinister. But yeah, I really expected them to be
Cow! Oh my
evil.
god.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
the fact that he's a cow, I
It
loved
made
it.
me so happy. I was like, we have space cows. I love cows. Ugh.
No, when Hind was first introduced, I was like, I know I'm gonna love him already. I can feel it.
I wasn't ready for there to be an actually explicit alien sex scene in this.
It
My brain.
wasn't
Wait, is that at
all
the very
the
end?
way.
Am I not there yet?
No, you
No,
are.
it happened already.
It did
Happened
happen
already.
already?
With Hind and Stairs. Or Hind and
And wind.
Hind and Wind.
It wasn't.
It was
was
before
like-
it was before the other alien showed up and told them everything.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Oh no, I was ready for that.
I wasn't
was ready
expecting
for
that,
a
though.
I was
full-
ready. I was here for it, but like I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Okay.
I felt so bad for Wind though. Come on, Stairs. Give the guy give Wind a chance, man.
Broke
One
all
thing I
five of
liked
his
about
hearts.
the Wind and Stairs thing was the book is like the act of sex and sexual stuff has very different consequences for very different people.
Yeah.
And it's like if you do this thing, it means nothing. But if I do this thing, it's like changes my entire life.
Mhm.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes. I love that so much. I love books that they make you reflect a lot. I feel as odd as this, as funny and everything else that this book was, I love that it feels like it's in some ways holding up a mirror. And that's what a lot of sci-fi does, I think, is hold up a mirror to society. So this definitely didn't miss the mark on that, which is I feel like it's not fully an escapist novel because it did feel a little heavy at times. But I don't know if that's just me projecting or if that was intentional.
I think it's like one of the things I really thought it was hammering in was like how absolutely no problem, fine, it's all cool it is for everybody to be so wildly not the same.
Good.
Yeah. And I feel like it did touch on topics of like racism or speciesism and like classism and what you can do with your own body and things about appearances.
The reasoning behind the crew, not Owlent and what's his name? Croak?
Crankliast, wasn't it?
Not those two. Our main crew that we started off the book with, the reasoning for them being there, I feel like it just kind of went over my head a little bit. If it was, I feel like it was a little bit explained.
Oh, but the Kosa was like put on forced leave, right?
Yeah.
But I can't remember why the guy was there.
Yeah, like the justification. I don't know if maybe we just didn't get the full explanation of why this team of people are together in the first place, and then here of all places.
Hmm.
What I got from it was that they were sent, Stairs was hired or something to go explore and gather information from the ship. And he sent out like a notice to gather a crew. And then Koza responded because, she's on leave and stuff. And then I thought that, what's his name? Rami. I thought that Rami followed because of his breakup with AJ and everything.
Oh
So he
yeah.
was like, I'm gonna dip for a bit, go on leave for a week, and then come back.
Poor
But
Remy.
I feel like
yeah,
he just had a breakup and he gets into this crew and everybody is hooking up and he's just like,
yeah, he's just
This
like,
is exactly what I
no.
didn't want. Poor Remy. I really enjoyed, even though Flugger was annoying, his conversations with his wife about their marriage.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that, and about like what it means to be ready, or setting or discussing expectations when you have a partner
It's
before you make that big
important.
commitment. Yeah, very
Yeah.
important.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
And I think that's something a lot of people don't do, and it ends up leading to a lot of disappointment.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
And
importance of just simple communication.
yeah.
Doesn't take a lot.
Like, I want to do this. I don't want to do that. Are you
But I think
down?
that's like the whole point of the book is like as soon as people start communicating, living together becomes a hell of a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Flugger being made to not be liked, I feel like it was realistic because everybody else was fighting together and they had that camaraderie. But Flugger, like, he was the medic and he didn't really fight with them or anything. He usually
Hmm.
stayed back. So I feel like that might be why he didn't really bond with anyone on top of like his previous thoughts on all the other species.
Mm-hmm. I want to protect them all.
I pictured the Piran being like really small, like 3 foot, like teeny weeny.
Yeah, I was forgetting every now and then everyone's, because everything was very descriptive in the beginning.
Yeah.
I think about halfway through I was kind of forgetting a little bit of who had what, except for the certain parts where certain people were like repeatedly described as having scales or having like silver skin or whatever the case is. Those
Mhm.
those bits helped. Usually I don't like it in books when things are repeatedly described, because it's like, okay, I got it, let's move on. But because there was so much heavy description here, I really need some fan art to continue into book
But
viewers.
I feel like was that intentional? Because I posted a thing on Discord about this. It was like with the whole descriptive info done right at the start
Mhm.
and then not being done at all for the whole rest of the book. Was it deliberately trying to make us forget that so that we're putting everybody on the same level?
Potentially.
Maybe.
Potentially.
I
I
don't know.
always have, I don't know. Yeah.
No. No. I mean,
I
it
always
kind of
have a
goes
hard
along
time.
with the theme. Oh, go ahead, Mo.
No, you go.
No, I was just saying that would make sense. It goes along with the theme.
Oh, yeah. Of everybody coming together.
Camaraderie
Hmm.
and universal respect.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The two things I tabbed in the book was Stairs when he like first had physical contact with the other crew members. And he was like, I'm liking you guys now. You guys are going on me. I was like, Stairs. My heart. I can't handle this cuteness.
Yes. There's also an anime that this made me think of loosely. Have you ever
Oh.
seen not Skip Beat, no, what's it called? Angel Beat?
Nope.
It's an not aliens, but also kind of like a bunch of random people who are together in this place and they're trapped for a reason and they need to get out. So like if you want a
Oh.
tearjerker, there's an anime recommendation that makes me think of this book.
one thing I feel like it's really easy to fall into the trap of with sci-fi, and you get it a lot, and you get it with stuff like the first thing that comes to mind is Mass Effect. If anyone's played Mass Effect,
Yeah.
but like in multi-species sci-fi crews, it's so easy for it to just be fantasy reskin, and for there to be like the dwarf alien, the elf alien, the orc
Mhm.
alien. But I feel like this managed to avoid that. But like thinking about how this didn't do it, I was like, so much other stuff does. It happens a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'd be really interested in like the authors. Everyone has that wall or like their book of like working through the schematics of the structure of the story and
Hmm.
just personal notes. Like, oh, how'd you come up with this? That's really good.
Yeah.
I think at one point when they were describing, I think it was the Pure On Society.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, can I live there? I want to try hiring a job there. This is great.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's really interesting with the RIPS to have a society where the most intelligent thing is not the top of the food chain. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where
That
they're
was
like
really
it's
new.
their whole society has been retarded back because things are trying to eat them like every day.
Mhm.
This is so much fun.
Stairs? I love Stairs, but he was so sneaky. He just that mind that he was like a spy. And I couldn't.
Was
I
Stairs
feel
the one
like
that pocketed the thing at the end, like the piece
yeah.
of tech? Yeah.
And he
Oh,
was like he was stealing all the info the whole time.
I mean, it matches his name. It matches his origin. When he explained his origin of his name, he's a sneaky one. Or Jay.
True.
We keep saying he, but they don't have
Oh,
a gender,
Jer?
right? So
Oh,
Jay.
Yeah,
that is another
Jer.
thing I really liked, and I thought that would be something that got annoying, but it really managed to keep it something that fit with the rest of the text. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
It was really good.
Yeah,
Really
I
well
was confused the first few pages, and then it was explained, and I was like,
Yeah.
done.
I also noticed that Hind, whenever it was Hind's point of view, it was they for Hind, the dirges.
Hmm.
I was like,
Mhm.
But this.
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna share a funny moment, but go ahead.
But this is something I was thinking about with the difference between like non-binary pronouns, but totally different ones, like GJ, they, them, it's like if even if you are trying to be respectful, if you are not using the one that other person has chosen and explicitly told you, you are giving them the value you think they deserve.
Mm,
You're like you mean this to me instead of like this is your identity and I'm respecting
yeah.
that.
mhm.
So I think it's important to do.
Yeah, it reminded me when Flugger called Stairs it, and I
Mhm.
was like, no, don't do that to Stairs.
So much. It's so wholesome.
It was. What was your funny moment, Steph?
Oh, I don't know. I just drew a smiley face laughing at the scene where they were eating, and Clenny. It says Clenny refrained from asking what type of sandwiches they were eating, fearing it was tuna, and I was like, oh, not a joke. Oh no.
They were
What
so
else?
cute.
Let me check my notes in the back. What did I write here? The judginess of these characters makes me think about the act of judging as possibly inherent to existing. Like, can we ever, is it possible for any society that is sapient to function without having a judging characteristic? Or is judging just a necessity for survival?
I think the only way it will ever not be a characteristic that is inherent is like every single sentient being thinks of themselves, whether they like it or not, as the center of the universe, and everything else is how is this thing doing its stuff in relation to me and my life. And that's
Mhm.
how you make connections with the world around you. And like, I think that's why people judge stuff. Like, how does this fit into my existence?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I guess if we can manage to stop thinking of ourselves as the center of the universe, then maybe that's how we do it.
Can we all just morph into one giant blob, one giant plastic blob? Oh my gosh, it's making me think of another book. Okay, never mind. I won't talk about that here. Spoilers for another book idea. Never mind.
Okay.
Anything else? I wrote that I didn't mind the info dumps at all because I loved how fresh the ideas felt.
Yes, I
The
agree.
the last bit with the info dump that I didn't like, it wasn't the fact that it was an info dump, it was the fact that it was somebody we had never met before and it came out of nowhere. Like it was like a
Mhm.
Deus Ex Machina at the end of the book. Like,
Right, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
we're in
That,
trouble. Oh, we're saved, and now we know everything that's going on.
yes.
But
Yes.
like, I think aside from that, I think that's the only thing that really let this book down for me. That's literally
Mhm.
it.
Yeah. So I mean, I have the epilogue left, and I have one chapter and epilogue left. Do they get out?
Do they get out? Do you want us to actually
You
tell you?
actually want to know?
Well, because then I wanted to talk about like I kind of don't want them to get out. Because then I don't know how it's gonna leave me feeling for book two.
Do
I
you
don't,
want to know?
I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I
There,
want.
I feel
I don't
like
know.
you
I
should
feel like
read
at a
it
certain point,
yourself.
I kind of like suspended what once I realized that whatever expectations I subconsciously set for the tone of this book totally went out the window without
Yeah,
Yeah.
going. I kind of gave up on wanting things to happen and was just kind of enjoying the ride.
yeah, I get
I
you.
think
Mhm.
as I got closer to the end, I was like, okay, I kind of want them to be stuck in the ship because then that sets us up for book two. But if they get out, what's the purpose of book two? I don't know that
Mhm.
we've got an explanation yet. It's too like I feel
Yeah,
like that last info dump was just too clean of an answer for
yeah,
me to feel like, well, what else do we need to do? Like, why is this a trilogy and not a standalone?
yeah. I'm interested
Mhm.
to see where this is going.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I do like how there was a schism or whatever in the ship where they're wherever planet they came from. I was like, there must be something to that.
There's something. Oh, who was I gonna say earlier that I felt like should know? Because they have the Accord, which I guess is similar to like the Galactic Commons if we're referencing Becky
Hmm.
Chambers, right?
Yeah.
Um, I would think that they would have the knowledge of all of these different societies and cultures and the way that these things communicate. And for example, who has the fins? Is it the Piran have the
Huron, yeah.
fins?
Oh yeah, up here.
When I think I don't know, remember who was talking to them or who was wait, no, or maybe I'm just confused. Were the Pirans the one who didn't go to war? Were they
Mhm.
kind of like the warlords or the ones like
I think they were
what
the
the
ones who introduced a lot of the technology to save
okay.
the
So then never
Terran.
mind. I'm totally off on what I'm thinking because it doesn't make sense.
It
Um,
was. I think it was the humans and the lizards that were at war.
oh yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
The ones that were most similar
Yeah,
in structure?
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay. That sounds like something we would do.
yes, very on brand.
Here on brand for us humans.
I
Who is
really
that? I
like
don't know. Take their stuff.
I like the insults that every species had for each other.
I like that they were still insulted by a raptor without even knowing at all what raptor meant.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
whatever.
They were like, "How dare you?" And then they were like, "Actually, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool word." They were like, "Oh, actually, then I'm fine with that."
I'll take
That's not the name we have for you guys.
it. Oh, does that is that a is that a common I mean, yeah, actually definitely is. What am I saying? I'm pretty sure that's like started wars of like people hearing a word or a phrase from another language and interpreting it as a personal insult when really it's just like you have no clue what the translation of that thing is.
I think a lot of the time, it's like a name will be associated with another person, and then the following mistreatment will make that name something bad. Like, I don't know.
Well,
Like it's becomes bad when there is bad intention behind it, and then
right,
you can never pull back from that because it's poisoned forever.
right. No, that makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, there's
I
a
do
lot.
wonder with stuff like that though, like when humans have a very us and them mindset,
Mhm.
and I do wonder if aliens ever do show up, will that at very least make all humans finally get cool with each other?
I freaking hope so, or we're
Yeah.
doomed.
Yeah.
So mad.
We'll see, I guess.
I mean, how thinking about like the Cold War and how far we've come now with having various diverse accessibility, whether I
Hmm.
mean, even though it is limited to like the world powers, but having some level of commingling in our government factions when it comes to space exploration currently in the past 50 years for that to have happened. I feel like 50 years is a very short time given the span of history.
Hmm.
So I would hope that if aliens come and we have to like get our shit together, we can do it pretty fast.
Do you know like the short time span thing with space that like blows my mind apart every time I hear it? Like making the very first aeroplane to landing on the moon was 60 years.
Really? Was it that short?
Whoa.
That's it. It was 60 years.
So the first
So
airplane
like
was like what,
66,
1900?
66 years. I think it was like just to the end of the 1800s, yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That's
Oh.
crazy.
It's mad, right?
I mean, yeah. I'm thinking about cell phones and like was it 2000 what was this first smartphone? 2004? 3?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. 15 years later and here we are.
Supercomputer in the palm of your hand.
Word.
Foldable
Yeah, and
computers.
the fact that
Every
we've
phone.
reverted or we're now retro trending into foldable cell phones. I remember when
I was like,
foldable
huh? That's
when
so
flip phones first came
interesting.
out, and I was like, I'm so cool.
I want the sidekicks to come back.
Oh my
They were
gosh,
the
I love
coolest
sidekicks.
things
I used to sit there all day. I mean, I never had one because I was
I
poor,
never
but I
had one either. My cousin had one, and I was like, can you just let me?
This is going to be one of those. I missed out on this as a kid, so as an adult with adult money,
just go like this all day.
Yeah, it was the coolest thing ever.
Oh, that was so fun. Any other non-spoiler? I mean, any spoilery things you want to talk about?
I wonder if Tina drew her characters out. Because I know a lot of like fan art or like other people who draw it comes out differently from how the author imagined it, or you know, the author has less artistic ability sometimes. So I wonder if Tina has like sketches and stuff.
yeah, I want to see the official author approved fan art.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us some of that. Yes, so good. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't, as far as the ship goes, I wasn't all about that lizard, but I was like, you get you some lizard. You go ahead, Coast. Live your best life.
I was like enemies to lovers.
Yeah. That's a very romance centric trope. I don't know.
I'm more for Stairs and Win. I want to see what happens there.
Yes. I just want to see them get married and be
I
happy.
feel like this series is going to get even saucier as it goes on.
Super orgy. Super orgy.
Oh my gosh. I mean, with Stairs in the group, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, I'm going to read it.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to read it. I'm going to treat myself for my birthday and order one. This is gonna sound really stupid, but there's a lot of cursing in this book, and I felt very refreshing. Like I just wanted to hear. I loved
There
how
was a lot of cursing.
everyone had a general "fu" translation or like general derogatory words, and it was kind of nice for everyone to just be like, "Oh yeah, well f you. Oh yeah, well whatever language word I can't say you too," and I'm just like, "Go off, all of you."
One thing I really love is like, so there's a sci-fi trope I hate is when they'll replace swear words with like sci-fi sounding words.
Oh my
Do
god,
you know what I
Battlestar
mean?
Galactica.
Oh, I hate that so much. But
What
like
was
when you're
it?
reading sci-fi, when they're like zark off or something like
Yes.
that. But when
Wait,
somebody in
Fracking
sci-fi is
what?
straight up, it happens a
Oh,
lot. It happens a lot.
it does. Well, fracking, I'm pretty sure it was fracking was
Fracking, yeah,
Battlestar Galactica. They would always say like frack you, whatever.
yeah.
And then this was like pre when actual fracking in the real world was like mainstream news coverage. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
But it is really refreshing when somebody's like straight up drops an F bomb and it's like,
Yes,
yes.
yes, drop it. It's fine. That was good.
The only time I didn't like it was when it was Flugger, and I was like, "Stop! Stop being mean to them!"
Yes, this is mean. Everyone else was angry, and I was like, "Go ahead and be angry." But
Yeah,
Flugger
I was like, "Be angry."
Everyone had righteous anger, but it was
Yeah.
like Flugger is like, you're just being a dick.
Yeah, he is just no.
Love it. That was so fun.
I liked what I think it was like briefly mentioned that all of them slowly started adopting like flicking somebody off with their middle finger, and I thought that's the funniest thing ever.
Like that is something we would do. I could definitely say in my years as a teacher, I worked just working with the public in general. Whenever people want to teach someone another language, one of the first things they always teach them is this is how you curse or this is how
Oh
you
yeah,
like
definitely.
something
Yeah.
like that. So for them to all slowly start picking up these habits, it's very spot on.
It's absolutely realistic.
Love it. Love it. Oh my goodness. See, now I'm really wondering if this was branded as a comedy, would it get a bigger audience or would that put people off because it's so niche?
I think it will put people off because comedy so often sucks.
Mm,
That's true.
And I
I
think a
feel
lot of
like
people wouldn't pick it up because of that.
mm.
I feel like I like the book more because I wasn't expecting
Yeah, me too.
everything
Me
to
Totally
too.
wasn't
happen.
expecting it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I think I've said my piece. I don't know if you
Yeah.
have anything else you
Anything
want to
else?
mention.
No, I think that's it. That's all my thoughts. I'm excited for number 2 though. I'm definitely
Yes.
excited for
I
number 2.
am, yeah. I like the cube ship. I haven't seen that in a while.
It's very Borgy.
It is. But you know, it is very appropriate for the setting. Like it gives you that sense of ominousness.
Mm.
It's very cute. Yes, I like. So I will read the
Okay.
epilogue and last chapter and get back to you in the chat. Oh my
Yes,
god,
I'm
Yes.
excited to see what
No,
you feel
yeah,
about
you
it.
have to read it.
I
Like,
am gonna read as soon as we're done.
I don't want to spoil it. Okay. Nobody else has anything else to say?
Good.
I
Okay.
think I'm done.
So, end here. Thanks for everybody who joined. Check us this month. It's January. This month, end of this month, for We Have Always Been Here on Jessa's channel. And yeah, bye.
Bye, everybody.